Yes, it
Mana
could.
people in StarCraft.
Mana people in StarCraft. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Dignitas' very own Bling. He is in the orange trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the east of the Antigua shipyard versus his opponent, Stareagle. He is in the pink trunks, and he is playing Terran to the north. Bling currently leading with a 1-game advantage against Stareagle. Stareagle is 1 game away from being eliminated from this tournament entirely. That would be unpleasant. That's not what he wants, and let's see what he can pull out of his big Italian hat.
I thought you were going to say arse then.
What?
But
No.
mind. I thought what can he pull out of his arse now? But never mind.
You just get progressively more uncouth the further down this tournament we go.
I know. It's because the watershed is coming up soon, I think.
Yeah, the Americans are going to start tuning into this tournament.
I know,
They're going to be like, what's all this BM?
I
What's
know,
all this BM?
It's 8 o'clock in America. What are you talking about?
You're hoping that they won't watch because of MLG, but they will, and they will complain, and you will not be happy.
Ah, indeed. Anyway, I don't care. The thing is, Stareagle he likes to be aggressive early on, pretty much every single game. And in cross positions, Tal'Dar multi, he couldn't really do that. So I suspect on this map we're going to see Refinery taken very, very shortly, and he's going to try to be more aggressive with a Tech Lab coming out, Marauders coming out, concussive shells, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, that we will, and I'm interested to see what Bling decides to go for. He is 1 game up, so he does have a little bit of leeway to do some kind of really aggressive early push. Or he could decide to just stick with what he's been doing, which is he's been very macro-based. He's been a little bit greedy here and there, and it's been paying off for him, and I think he's just liking to experiment with the idea of having a lot of money.
Money is a good thing.
Yes, it is.
And I think that's what a lot of players in their StarCraft 2 career actually run into, is that they play very aggressive with lots of timing attacks, and then 1 game they just build a bunch of probes and expand fast, and like,
yep.
Oh god, it feels good to have this amount
That's
of money.
great, isn't it? Yeah, you're just swimming around in cash. The Scrooge McDuck strategy, I like to call it. We've got Stareagle going for the Tech Lab again. This could once again be a Reaper, or it could be a Marauder. Gas count's at 50, so I'm thinking Reaper. There it is.
Yeah, Reaper's going to be coming out, and he will try to pressure once again, and it's probably just going to be a Reaper expand. Reaper's quite good, obviously, to be able to kite against the Zealot, and even pick off a few probes. Even picking off 1 or 2 probes at this stage of the game is worth it for sure, so he will want to try to do that.
Yeah, it's going to get shut down, though. The Stalker's already on his way. I believe Bling actually skipped the Zealot. Yes, he did. Smart move, and I don't think this Reaper's going to do too much. You might be able to get a little bit of information. Depends. I mean, if Bling decides to push out with that Stalker and doesn't catch the Reaper, problems could be had, but it's not going to be anywhere near as dangerous as it was last time.
And the thing is, Bling's gone for a Stalker, and when you go Stalker first instead of a Zealot, the Stalker usually goes to Scout. But luckily for Bling, he's actually going around his base, surprisingly. Eventually it will go out to poke around to see a Marine or Marauder be made, and I'm wondering if it's going to cross paths with this Reaper, and we're going to have to find out. It looks like Bling is expecting a Reaper because he's at the back of the base, but the Reaper's at the front.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about Reapers, isn't it? And look at the amount of space you've got there. You can get over pretty much any of that cliff face. He picks off a single probe. Not exactly a great investment there, but the Reaper isn't dead yet, so that helps. He can draw the Stalker out to the front and then attack from the rear, which is exactly what he's about to do. Hop, skip, and a jump up to the top, and there is nothing to stop him.
Yeah, and I will talk about the expansion in a second, but this Reaper's going to get a few kills once again, possibly here. Will it get 1?
He's trying to hide it in the gas there, which was nice sneaky maneuver, a little bit of micro trickery there from Bling, and he's able to prevent that from going down.
All right,
good stuff.
So with this engineering bay, what it's basically done, Bling went down to go 1 gate expansion, double gas. It was forced into going 3 gateways before expansion, which is not ideal. So I think what Bling's going to do here is take the best of the situation and be like, all right, let's be aggressive with 3 gateways. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bling start to chrono boost into the gateways soon, if he starts saving up and then be aggressive. We actually see an aggressive pylon placed down as well for Bling, and there is a bunker down for Stareagle, but he doesn't really have that many units out yet. And here moves Bling, or Bling is moving out now with all his units, and I think that's what we're going to see.
The last thing you want to do is force Bling into a pressure attack. Bling is extremely good at that, and I think Stareagle is about to find that out to his cost, potentially. Stareagle, with that single bunker, as you said, not really optimal. He's got a single Reaper in there and a Marauder, and usually what you want to do is get 4 Marines in there, because, of course, those are the least resilient units in your force, and you can get the maximum damage out of that. Not so effective to have that mix, and there's nothing else you can actually fit in it, so he doesn't really have all that much use from it. More warp-ins coming in, and Bling can now pressure, I feel. Army supply count is heavily in favor of Bling at this stage.
He's chrono boosting the gateways as well, so he definitely wants to do this. But a second bunker has been made. It's not going to finish, and Bling is in great position. He's going to be able to force field around it. And oh, this is looking so good for Bling.
Yeah, he is. He would love to stop that. Can he stop it? And it does go up. He should have sniped the SCV. Yeah. And nice clutch play there by Stareagle. Bling thrown backwards. He could have taken that.
I was really surprised he didn't actually snipe the SCV doing that at the same time while force fielding around.
Exactly.
And now everything's been shut down. He actually has to chrono boost into the Nexus again, and there's no way he can try this again. He is forcing a lot of non-mining time from all these SCVs, so he might want to poke up to keep them there a little bit longer. And the unit count, as we can see, 32 probes now for Bling, who will start to escape and really chase away in that lead.
Yeah, Bling's going to try it again, which I'm not really all convinced about, because the second bunker's going to go up, and there is a marine count there as well. If he can kill a large number of these SCVs, it might work out. He doesn't have the DPS, though. He can't bring it down, and the bunker is very easily repaired. And while this non-mining time is great, mules are also kind of good. And as it turns out, Stareagle's managed to keep his income higher than Bling's.
Indeed, mules are pretty good for that. And let's have a look at now. Bling is starting to overcome with the income as mules run out, though. 37 probes versus 27. The deviation you can do with Chrono Boost is amazing. And now double forges have gone down, double assimilators immediately as well, so we'll want to go directly into that. I'm actually surprised he went double assimilators this early on. He doesn't actually need them right now. You can see he's already at 600 gas. He doesn't need more gas. But the thing is, he's saturated bases so fast. Because of the chrono boost, he can easily go into them and start getting these upgrades out.
Yeah, always nice to have some gas in the bank for later on if you want to go with the double upgrades and then suddenly you decide you need to build 7 Colossus at once. That's always good. Stareagle pushing across the map. Bling is supply blocked briefly, which is going to mean that you'll probably miss a warp-in. Now going for it. Stareagle, well, the force field's going to have to be really bad to let that through, I feel. And Bling pulling back deliberately. Stareagle's being a little bit cautious, forcing one force field. A little bit of trickery right there.
I love that force field. It's just like, I'm going to put that there. You come up, there's going to be 3 more.
Just going to paint a pretty little bush right there in the corner.
I love it when people do that. But what I don't like from Stareagle is trying to go in. He's not going to go in, though. He's just kind of bait some stuff out, force pressure on, force units to be morphed. He's actually expanding behind this on not that high of unit count or production facilities. So he's taking a bit of a gamble here, but wise gamble, because he is holding Bling into his main base. Bling, meanwhile, though, is getting the Twilight Council to continue his upgrades, but he's also adding on 3 more gateways. He's going to be at a total of 3 gateways with double upgrades. That's a lot of units. And if he somehow can smell that command center cooking on that 3rd base, then he's going to be going out and he will try to do it. But he doesn't know, and he doesn't have anything to scout with either.
No, he does not, which is very, very unfortunate indeed. This is the kind of time where hallucination might be useful when you have all that gas and all of those sentries. There's something to consider, but he does not have that, so that's not going to be happening. Continuing to build up on 2 bases for perhaps once again a big execution push, and it could be effective if Stareagle isn't able to build up a large enough economy and large enough a set of production facilities in time. But the longer Bling waits, the worse this is going to get, because he's now got 3 orbital commands up, that's 3 loads of mules, and is also catching up in terms of worker count as well. So Stareagle's income looks something like that, which is pretty strong at the moment. It is only going to get stronger as we go through.
Yeah, so Bling's playing very blind at the moment. The one thing that's really good for him is that he's going for 2-2. He could do a 2-2, 2 base, a 2-2-2, 2 base timing attack with all his units. That would be really good too, because his upgrades are so good that it will make the push incredibly strong. The thing is, what Stareagle needs to do now, he has to get medivacs out. I wouldn't even be surprised if he started getting the double engineering bay out as well, so he could really catch up in upgrades, because he's so far behind. But there is that 3rd Nexus going down now, and Bling is actually in a terrible position simply because he skipped the robotics facility. He doesn't know about this early 3rd base, and all of a sudden Stareagle's going to have, twice the economy that Bling's going to have in the mid stages.
Yeah, and at this situation, you've got to say, you've got to do some damage. You must go in and do some damage. There is the robotics facility so late on, 13 minutes in. And Bling's army is not of the size that I would like. It's only just slightly larger than Stareagle, but Stareagle has bunkers and a missile turret. So there's not even, you can't even get an observer in there or anything along those lines. No Dark Templar. So of course, perhaps what he's thinking right now, knowing that his opponent's stuck on 2 base DT, there's nothing wrong with that. The infamous scouting factory is on its way. It's going to scout not only the 3rd base, but also the composition of Bling's forces.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, this is around the timing of when a third base should be going up regularly for a Terran player. So what we're seeing Bling do now is punish a regular expansion.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's going to be like, oh, if he watches the replay, he will literally say, oh, you expanded that early. Maybe I need to get that robotics facility out earlier so I can scout this earlier. And all of a sudden, that's not looking so good for him still. I mean, the upgrades now are starting to flow better for Stareagle. Going to be at 1-1 very, very shortly. Can go into 2-2 now as the armory has completed. But Bling is starting +3 attack. Can't quite afford +3 armor. He's going to have to get the gases immediately on this third base.
Yeah, and Bling's army is of a good composition at the moment. I'm liking it quite a bit. It's very, very strong considering the upgrades, but it still can't assault this position. This is a very much an entrenched position, very close to the bases, easily reinforceable with double bunkers. He now has heavy medevac support. He can start to drop harass if he so desires. And honestly, he's just going to sit there. He's got this amazing bulwark against whatever his opponent's got. And he's going to have to wait, I think, Bling that is, for a much larger army. And the concern is just the number of zealots, number of gateway units in this composition, especially when you're about to then add on 3 more barracks and a Ghost Academy. It starts to become really, really risky.
Yeah, I mean, basically Bling's just playing the way that Terrans should play. You know, basically Terrans should take this here, they should do this here, they should do this here. But the key word there is should. And Stareagle took a very fast third base to punish this. And I know Bling's taking a 4th base now, which is really good. But I don't know how well this is going to go down. I'm surprised that Stareagle actually hasn't taken a 4th base of his own yet. That is a little bit surprising. But 2-2 is on its way now, and I think we're going to see Stareagle move out with 2-2 very shortly as he takes a 4th base with Ghost as well, as the Mobius Reactor is on the way. The thing that Stareagle needs to be careful about if he wants to survive within this IPL4 qualifier is he has to find out, is Bling going to switch over to Colossus yet? And then he has to start making Vikings and possibly a 2nd starport as soon as possible.
Oh my, 6 ghosts coming in. This is the Thorzate style, I think. It's like the metagame is shifting in this very, very tournament. Just huge amounts of ghosts in the mid-game, which has always been good, but at this point is extremely strong. And right now, Bling's going to smash his way through and try and get access to this 3rd base. Stareagle is already prepared. It's not such a good engagement point, because what it's going to do is filter those units into a small corridor where they can all get EMP'd. That's not going to happen, though. Bling's going to back off and make sure that he just wants, I think, to wait for his opponent to come to him. I don't think Stareagle's going to do that yet. He's now going to start to push out, and I would imagine try and flank around away from this force. And let's see if Bling can actually hit him in the side.
And just going to be careful. The Ghosts do have a lot of EMPs now, so that's 6 Ghosts, 6 EMPs are available, and they will be able to tear down this army. The thing is, Stareagle is running low on gas. He needs a 4th base. He cannot keep up with upgrades. He cannot keep up with Viking production if he needs to switch over. So that is a bit of a worry right now, as Bling has taken a 4th base, is getting the gas of his own now, and adding on a lot more gateways to really keep up, so he can reinforce this army. The biggest problem is going to be the Colossus for sure, and he has nothing to deal with them right now.
No, it does not. There, we've got a few ghosts moving in. Some EMPs not as good as I would have liked from the EMPs there, and not an ideal engagement for either side, honestly. The Marauders trapped in against there, huge amounts of force fields deployed. Colossus coming from the side to flank. A 2nd Colossus coming in there. And you can hear the death screens of ghosts left, right, and center as Bling smashes it apart.
Wow, that looks so easy for Bling. And the Colossus, look at the single Colossus, 10 kills, and Stareagle says GG. Couldn't quite deal with it. Is knocked out.
So well played there by Bling. Great engagement. That 2nd Colossus coming in from...